So I just got a call and I'm going to go see my dad. He's in the hospital. And I was thinking how amazing it is that my dad is 78 years old because at 41 he had a massive heart attack. And at that time they said he would never work again. He only had 23% heart function, but he has. He worked again many more years. But eventually he had a triple bypass, went back to work. Then eventually he went into congestive heart failure. It was at that time that he wound up being told he experienced a sudden death experience where he just died in his home, and his sons performed CPR on him, and they brought him back to life, and they said, you have to have a defibrillator because his heart was so weak that it would just stop. So now they put this defibrillator in it, and every time his heart stops, it paddles him from the inside, shocks his heart, and brings him back to life, starts his heart again. And one time, on one day, it happened 8 times in one day, which is crazy to me. So eventually what they said is, Mr. Carter, you are down to one decision, and that is get a new heart or die. And so he got on the list for a possible transplant. And when the defibrillator just kept going off and off, they put him in the hospital and said, you've got to stay here, and hopefully a match will show up. So in late, I think it was fall of '96, he went into the hospital, and he waited and waited many, many weeks. And finally in February, he was really tired. He was tired of being away from home, the comfort of his own home, his family, because he was out of town at Stanford. And so he called us all and said, I'm coming home. I'm coming home. I'm tired. I'm done. And we understood. So we knew the next day he'd be heading home. But right after midnight, we got another call. And the call was they'd found a match. It was Valentine's Day. God waited until Valentine's Day. Once my dad gave up and said, I'm done, I can't do this, God stepped in and sent my daddy a Valentine's Day heart. I think that's amazing. He always does more than we can ask or think. Anyways, in having this new heart, he has to be really diligent in taking his medication. It's an anti-rejection medication, and he has to take it morning and night. If he doesn't take this medication, his body will attack his flesh. His immune system will attack that heart as if it's something foreign, and they'll kill it. And so I just was thinking about us in this brief moment, and just thinking how it's important for us to do the same. We need to take our anti-rejection medication because we've been born again. We've been given a new spirit, new heart. But if we aren't diligent and daily, twice daily, all day long, whatever, taking that medication, which I believe consists of communion with the Lord, prayer, fellowship, being in His Word, saying yes to the Spirit, saying no to our flesh. If we don't do that, we too can die. Our new heart can die. Paul says in Romans 8:12 and 13, therefore, brothers, we have an obligation, but it is not to the sinful nature to live according to it. For if you live according to the sinful nature, you will die. But if by the Spirit you put to death the misdeeds of the body, you will live. So my question is, are we taking our anti-rejection medication? And if we are we being diligent? I think it's important. What do you think?